Hi, hello, welcome to the Slums of the Internet. I'm Destiny. How are you? Today we're going to be talking about a book that I read in July that I absolutely hated. Now, given the timeline, you should know which book I'm talking about, but if you didn't see the title of the video or the thumbnail, I'll let you know. It's Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I seem to be on the side of BookTube and BookTok that is very in between, and by that I mean they hate it. Everyone, like all the reviews that I've saw for Fourth Wing, that is like not Destiny, Sarah, or Heather, all the other reviews that I saw for Fourth Wing were thinking the exact same thing as me. But like I've maybe seen 5 TikToks talking about how they didn't like Fourth Wing. I'm here to what do they call it? De-influence. Okay. But this is like this first of all, this video is in no way saying that you shouldn't like the book, or if you like the book, like there's something wrong with you, even though it is. I'm just kidding. If you like the book, girl, you do you, because you like what you like. I just don't. So we're gonna start with my review of the book. I'm just gonna read it outright, and then I'll like say other crap. So I gave this book a 2.5, and I said that this is one of the books that I really want to like, and I actually brainwashed myself into trying to follow the crowd. Because like everyone on TikTok and like YouTube before the bad reviews came out, it was nothing but good reviews, and even now it's sitting at like 1 million reviews, and it still has like 4 stars. 4.5, 4.75, either way. But I couldn't get into it. Firstly, I thought it was cringe. I called her by a nickname that she didn't ask for, and it was really corny. I stand on that 10 toes down. But that a lot of the other people that read this book thought it was cute, but I literally rolled my eyes every time I saw it. And I'm not sure if I recorded the video of me reading Fourth Wing or if I accidentally deleted it. Either way, you can like literally see my reactions. And if you follow me on Goodreads as well, you can see like my reactions throughout the entire book, because I did read it on Kindle, so I like highlighted and put all my notes and things. So you will be able to see like just how much I hated this book and how much I tried to like it. The dragons have to be my favorite part of the book. Their banter and personalities were so cool, and they're the only reason I didn't rate this book 1 star, and I still stand on that as well. This would have been a 5 star if it was from the perspective of the dragons. I truly believe that. And the 0.5, the half a star that I gave, was only because of the cliffhanger from the ending. But I feel like it should have been predictable somewhat. The only human characters in the entire book that I didn't find annoying was Liam and Rhetoric. Rhetoric, however you say his name. Would I care if any of the other characters dropped dead by the end of the book? Not at all. They would be doing the world a favor and me a favor. I said, sorry, this is a no for me. Absolutely. So the thing is about this book, I had a lot of mixed feelings, and those mixed feelings just became bad feelings. Because it's like, like, you know, this is one of those books that should have came out like during Hunger Games era, like 2013. Like if this book came out like 2013, 10 years ago, I would still hate it, but not outwardly, because this is the stuff that was out around the time, you know, Twilight, Hunger Games, those other things that no one cares about. I feel like it was released at the wrong time, or it just like found the wrong audience. I'm not the target audience for this, I can tell, because I hated that this was marketed as a fantasy book, and then it's more romance than anything. I hated, and I know everyone else talks about this, the world building or lack thereof. You know, I feel like a lot of the stuff that happens in the world is self-explanatory. Like, yeah, you can like from all the other fantasy things, you know, you can be like you can put this together. But like a lot of the other stuff, like her info dumping on the parapet, like saying all this random crap, like, oh, we were established in 1793, and I'm like, okay. And then like all the stuff that she info dumps about has nothing to do with the story. I think that's the most annoying part. Because if she was walking on the parapet and she was info dumping a whole bunch of useful things like, we know that the sparring is 3 rounds and you get a random opponent or something, then like, yeah, which you might be saying like, how would she know that she's not in the school yet? Shut up. Her sister was in the school. Her brother was in the school. They should know this stuff. She should know this stuff. But instead, she's telling us about the history of a town no one cares about. Okay, first of all. Second of all the stuff that she's telling us that she info dumped throughout the book never comes up later. At all. In no way. Like, all this stuff that she tells us about the history while she's walking on the parapet, like when it was established, what cities is where, and what wing is where, and what town is where, and the Traitor Kids, like, the Traitor Kids might be, like, the only important thing, and even then, their role is so minor that it's just like, okay, well, she told us this. We know they're Traitor Kids, and we know. Oh, wait, we don't. Like, another thing that I hated, and I guess everyone hated, that, Violet, sorry, I just thought of his nickname for her and I just got mad. Violet, she wanted to be a scribe because her father was a scribe. But even though we're told this, we're never actually told what the other quadrants do. Like, we know the dragon riders ride dragons, obviously. The scribes, what else do they do other than keep records? You know, what do the other four wings, I mean, the other three wings, what do they do? Like, she goes into the library a couple times to collect some things from the scribes, but is their only job to record stuff or to organize stuff? And like, when do they know when to clear out old documents? You know, all this. Like, she wants to be a scribe, but she never like explains what being a scribe is. Like, what do you do being a scribe? Like, yeah, she says collect information, and like, what else? What? She doesn't know. I don't know. And so then immediately we are introduced to like our antagonist love interest, where she's like,
Stay away from Rhys Soren. Stay away from him. He wants to kill you.
and then like 2 pages later, she's like in his face talking to him. And she already knows that she has a target on her back because her mom is the General Soren Gale, who is like the reason that this dude is mad at her in the first place, which he is not, that's not justified for him being mad at her because her mom like killed his parents. But like, you know your status, okay? You know how people feel about you. And so to like introduce your name, full name,
My name is Violet Sorengale.
my name is Violet Sorengale, to anyone who might want to kill you is not the smartest idea, baby girl. And then like with the traitor children, we get that these kids, these are kids of traitors, but like what exactly did the traitors trade? You know what I mean? Like what did they do that made them listed as a traitor? Never explain that. So we just know that these are the traitors' kids. They are marked with a tattoo to show that they're traitors' kids, and that's about it. We don't know why they're traitors. We don't know what they did, what information they sold that makes them traitors, and that just never got explained. But you know, they're traitors, and I guess that's all we need to know. But I feel like that would have been more helpful than her info dumping on the parapet. I know I'm going to keep coming back to that. I'm going to spin the block as many times as I need to for you to understand this was not necessary. She tried to make this like a quirky little trait that Violet does whenever she's nervous, but she's just trying to get that word count for real. You know what she's doing. She's just trying to reach that word count. Like, honestly, girl, we know exactly what you're up to right now. I guess this is her way of trying to do world building, but when you info dump, not in the Stephen King way, but in your way, it's overwhelming to the point where I'm just like skip, 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 skip. Like I'm not gonna keep reading all that because it adds nothing to the story other than making my eyes tired. It's like when someone was speaking about reading a book and the author describes every little movement, the color of her eyes and for 3 pages, the color of her dress for 3 pages. And it's like, dude, okay, we get it. Okay, you don't need to paint that vivid of a mental image. We understand, okay? And also, what is up with Violet being so horny the entire book? Like, girl, please calm down. I understand you're 21, but literally, like, there's no need. Like, the entire book, she's trying to jump the bones of, like, some dude, like, that doesn't like her, that she's convinced that wants to kill her. And let's talk about how this enemies to lovers is not even really enemies to lovers because they were never actually enemies. The entire time it's been one-sided. She never wanted to kill Xaden, first of all. He never wanted to kill her. And then when you try to label this as enemies to lovers and he tells you, I loved you from the beginning, you were never enemies. Like, and this is supposed to only work in fantasy, but this is more romantasy than fantasy, and it's more romance than romantasy. Like, the fantasy element is just like maybe 10% of the world, and the rest of it is just romance. Like, no ma'am. Oh, and Jack. This Jack guy. If he wasn't so annoying, he would be so real. Like, he got on my nerves, but Violet got on my nerves more. I know this is YA, but this book reads like a middle schooler who just learned how to curse. Because there's like a curse word every paragraph. Someone cursing or being in the description or like in their minds. And it's like, girl, please, you're 21. 21. And you're speaking like this? Okay. Oh, also, people complain about how Violet got, like, not one, but 2 dragons. And first, she got the biggest dragon that hasn't been mated for, like, 100 years or 50 years or something. And then she got a second dragon. And they're like, oh, well, how come she got to get 2? Plot armor. Duh. She's the main character. She would not be the main character if she didn't get the best stuff. It's literally, like, the point. Another thing that I really hated. Dane. Now, I understand that Dane was the reasonable one in this situation, but he was also the most annoying one in this situation. And that's coming from me, who hates Violet Sorrengail with my entire being. Like, Dane, when he gets introduced, you already know that he's like kind of pushy, and he is very resilient. He's very pushy. He'll keep pushing and pushing and pushing. No matter, like, if you say no, he will come through with another angle, and I hate when people do that. Like, accept no, please. But, like, he reasonably so, okay, he tries to switch her to the scribe's quadrant when literally before she went across the parapet she was talking about how she was not built for this, how she wants to go to the scribe quadrant as soon as she can, and then she gets past it and he's like, okay, well, maybe I might be able to sneak you in, and she's like, no, I got across the parapet, like, look at me, like, I'm strong enough to do this, and if I was meant to die I would have died already. Like, girl, shut up. So, like, and after that, I feel like after the first two tries, he should have left it alone. But he's just resilient throughout the entire book, trying to make her go back to the scribe's quarter. And it's like after like maybe the first three times, it just got annoying. Like, I know you're doing this for her own well-being. You're very persistent, sir. But stop. Like, there was a point where it went from protective to annoying. And I know she did this on purpose because she wants us to dislike Dane because we want Xaden to be our love interest. But you could have like made, like, it's her best friend. You could have made him less into next. The Book of Brayden that was given to Mira for her first year. I'm reading this and I'm thinking, okay, well, he made this whole book for her. And like, why is she like only reading one page at a time? Like, ma'am, you're at this school for like a month and you don't know what's coming next when you could have just read the entire book since you like to read so much. Miss Scribe, girly. You could have read it. Like, I don't understand. If I had a book like that, I would have like devoured it within the first week so I know everything that's coming. But baby girl, she just, and then like whenever the actual challenge comes, you can refresh your memory by reading again. I don't understand, because she was so keen on reading, she wanted to bring a book with her that Mira wouldn't let her. And I'm just like, okay. Like, I know she has a disability, okay, and I'm aware of that because I'm not sure what the disability is. Can you comment it, because I totally forgot the name of it. But like, she has a disability. I forget what it does, but it causes like brittle bones or muscles or something. And like, I understand, but like every few pages, every few sentences, she's bringing up how small and frail and little she is.
Oh, Xaden, compared to me, I can barely reach his shoulder. Oh, I'm so weak, but I'm stronger than him. I'm stronger than you think. I'm not as fragile.
It's like, girl, when you bring it up that much, are you insecure about it? Or are you like, is the author trying to tell us that this is how we should be feeling? And when you bring it up so much, like the, oh, I'm so small thing, it's just like, it gets annoying. It got annoying. It is annoying. Because, like, girl, we understand that you have brittle bones. But I feel like for disability representation, since I don't have one, I can't be speaking, but I can be speaking. With disability representation, they're regular people still. Like, you're regular people still. And, like, even though you know of their disability, they don't let it define them. That's not their entire personality. But her whole personality is, oh, I'm disabled, I'm so small, I'm so frail, oh, I can't fight because I'm so small, frail, I might break. Like, girl, it got to a point where it stopped being educational, it stopped being relatable, it stopped being fun, it started being annoying. Because, like, a lot of people are too scared to write disabled characters. And it's like, girl, like, grow up. Because I know a lot of people found it, like, cool and cute, but, like, Violet, we get it, you're small, we get it, you're breakable, we get it, you're whatever you want to say. You're also annoying, though. Very annoying. I might be weaker than he is, but I'm a heck of a lot smarter. Like, girl. Okay. Like, crickets. Like, how are we ever supposed to believe that Xaden hated her? Like, how are we ever supposed to believe that? On a side note, why would the narrator, the audio person, record the Fourth Wing audiobook while they're sick? It's terrible. I haven't listened to it, but I've heard people listen to it. You should be out of a job for that. Just like, okay. And she just kept going. I think I spoke on this already, but violence. I also posted this on Instagram and TikTok. Violence. Now, reading Akamov. Rhysand saying Feyre darling. That's great. That's cool. That's amazing. Violence? If you say so. Because there was nothing that warranted this nickname. Nothing that she's done has warranted this nickname. Like, you're telling me, like, and everyone's calling it, like, a cute little nickname. Okay, Violet gets to the academy. She doesn't want to kill anyone. She's scared to kill anyone. She doesn't even kill anyone until past halfway through the book. Okay? Violet doesn't kill anyone until halfway past the book. Okay? Halfway past the middle. And so, and like, on top of that, she didn't want to fight anyone in the fighting ring when that was introduced. She didn't want to kill anyone. She didn't even want to look at anyone the wrong way. Like, honestly, are we speaking honestly? She didn't even want people to dislike her. She couldn't stand the thought of people not liking her. Like, she had a whole bunch of friends, and when she seen someone that disliked her, she's like, oh, another person that doesn't like me because my mom. Ugh, I wish they didn't do that. What about her at 21% into the book is violent? What about her? What? And respond quickly. Xaden, Resorn, you have 2 hours to respond. Because what did she do that was violent at anywhere before that point in the book? I'm not hearing anything. When he introduced that nickname, I was just rolling my eyes because I'm like, how does that make sense? She's not violent. She's not done anything violent. She doesn't want to do anything violent. She's not even thinking about violence. Like, and so he continues to call her violence throughout the rest of the book, even when they're in a, like, really serious situation where they're, like, at the islands or wherever they're at with the guys with the griffins or whatever those things are. And he's like, violence, move out the way. Like, every time I read that, like, I could be smiling before at a point in the book and just deadpan. Like that meme right there. Like, at this point, he's like, going for blood today, are we violence? Because they're sparring on the mat. And she's like, my name is Violet. And he's like, I think my version fits you better. I'm sure you do. That made me go down like a whole star rating. Like, when I realized that this was going to become a thing, and it wasn't like a one-time thing, like he was just calling her violence once because of one act. When I realized this was going to become a thing and he was just going to keep going along with this, like, it was cute and funny, yeah, hold down, like 1 star rating down already. The thing where you can feel when the dragons are banging, why would you write that? Why? What? Who in their right mind? If this was another book, if it was written by someone different, if it was written different, absolutely, that would have been cool because it explained the bond. But with her writing, it's like, oh, okay, you just wanted to write dragon smut. Thanks, I think. Also, the Dane betrayal. I mean, I'm not gonna say I was looking forward to it, but like, somebody needs to put Violet in her place for real. Like, as she stayed in the writer's quadrant, she just kept getting bolder and bolder. And it's like, girl, the only reason you won half of those spars that you won is because you poisoned people. That's another thing I want to talk about. It's brought up like a million times throughout the book how smart she is. She's so smart. Violet's so smart, so smart, so smart. How is she so smart but so dumb? Because they tell us, you know, a very prime rule of writing is show, not tell. Throughout the book, they tell us she's smart, but she does nothing smart. Every decision she does, every choice she makes is dumb. Not once in the book did she make a good choice.
You are dumb, unattractive, overweight, unworthy, untalented. I hope you take it personally. Whenever you feel like you're not in control or the world is against you, take it personally. Every thought in your mind is dumb. Every word you speak is dumb. Congratulations.
So, is the smart in the room with us right now? Is it present in this universe? Because wherever it is, it's not on you. And you can't call her smart for memorizing like random facts about the universe. Because first of all, she not only lives in this universe, but she was trained from the age of like 11. She's like, mind you, that's like 10 years. She was trained from the age of 11 to learn the history of the world. This is memorization. Like, this has been engraved in her brain. She just knows this. Like, that doesn't make her smart. That just makes her know this. You know what I mean? Like, smart is when you can use your common sense. Smart is when you can use your common sense in a situation to either evade it or solve it. She's done neither. So I'm just saying, is she smart, or does she want us to believe she's smart? And if she does, then she's going to have to try way harder than she is. Tyrannia. And I know I'm just like, at this point, I'm just complaining. But like, her falling off the dragon, okay? Now, usually when someone falls off the dragon, when a rider falls off the dragon lets them fall. And then they, like, the next year, they choose another mate to bond with. He catches her 36 times from falling off of him before they make the saddle. And of course, you know, plot armor, she's the main character. She has to be caught. She has to be alive. But, like, I don't even know where I was going with that. I just know it just made me mad. Like, oh, it just made me mad. We meet a very sweet character within, like, the first chapter. And, like, by the next page, by the end of the chapter, he's already dead. So R.I.P. to my man, because he could have been a great writer. But he was very overconfident. But, like, sometimes overconfidence is good. Strawberry pie. Strawberry cream pie. I think, like, the only real win that we have in this is that there's a non-binary character. Oh, we've infiltrated, I see. Sorry, I'm not non-binary. I'm just crazy. And then she asks, is there any part of my body that doesn't react physically to him? Like, if you're both attracted to each other from the start, how's the enemies to lovers? If you were never enemies. Like, when she first met him, she talked about how tall and brooding and cute he was. And, like, he teased her the whole time, but he never had any real malice behind anything he did. So, like, how's the enemies to lovers again? Where's the enemies? Is the enemies in the room with us right now? Don't see him. The real enemy in here was Dane. Like, come on, bro. And I really wanted to like him, too. I think I still do. Like, saying a few mean words to each other doesn't make you enemies. Like, enemies is, like, when you're, like, constantly trying to kill each other. Or, like, you're trying to get revenge because someone you love has been killed. Which is why it only works in fantasy. And while this is a fantasy, it's not working. Oh, also, Amber, Mavis, Amber, when I catch you, Amber, girl, when I catch you, it's on sight. And you know what you did. And everyone else who read the book, you know what she did. And Dane and Amber, when I catch both of y'all, be ready. That's all I'm gonna say. Also, I think I was a little harsh earlier when I was talking about her brother. If my brother died, bro, I would lose my mind. Of course, she talks about him a lot because this is the school he went to. And, like, I just feel like she made it obvious by, like, just how much she was saying and just how much she wasn't saying. Because he died. And she told us how he died, but it was very vague. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm not going to act like the plot twist at the end didn't shock me. It did. It did. As much as I want to feign nonchalance, yeah, it did. It got me. Sorry, I got hungry. Anyway, the fact that she always, like, even after she finds out that the dragons are mated, she, like, despite what he tells her, she thinks, like, the only reason he hangs out with me is because our dragons are fated mates, and he just doesn't want to die. I say, girl, get a grip. There was a point in time when I was reading this, and I was just, like, trying to enjoy it, but I was very conflicted about how I was going to feel. Because originally it was going to be a 3-star. And I was enjoying it somewhat, but at the same time, I was just like, okay, well, this book is long, and it's going, and it's going, and it's going, and it's going. Once I got about 50% way in, I was like, okay, well, this is going to get good, right? No. Not to mention, but to mention, the unnecessary amount of character deaths someone, and I think like everybody and their mom points this out when they talk about this book. But you're low on your army. Okay, this is a war army training school. And the first thing you do is kill off 20% of the students on initiation day. Like on orientation day, on the first day, walking across a parapet, you kill like 70 students. If you're in such dire need for these soldiers, that's literally the dumbest thing you could do. And then, like, the cast is really not as huge as it seems. We have Liam, Redoc, Rihanna, I don't know how to say her name, Violet, Dane, Zayden, Imogen. Really, those are really the only characters we talk to, like, for the most part of the book. So why is there like 50 different people being brought up? That confused the life out of me, because she's keeping count of the death toll. Every time someone dies, she says their name like she knew them. Or like she says, oh, blank just died. Or blank just got put on this list this morning, or whatever. And she like just in passing mentions these random characters. And so I'm like, wait, do we know them? And we don't know them. It's just a random character that you never hear again. And not to mention Liam's death, crime. That's the only character I cried for. Only. Like, if Violet herself fell off her dragon and drowned, I would be clapping. Because I hate her. But anyway, the unnecessary amount of characters that get randomly mentioned just makes it very confusing. Like, who's alive, who isn't, who we know, who we don't. Because it's like, these characters, a lot of them have unusual names, right? And so, you're like, okay, well, I think I would have remembered that if I saw it. And it's like a one-off character. And it's like, oh, thank you for giving me nothing. Good parts. Let's try some good parts before I end this video off. Good part, the cover's pretty. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Guys, just talk all day on location.